Hey everyone, and welcome back to KenkoVibe. I'm Ethan Reed, and I'm super excited for today's deep dive.
And I'm Grace Morgan, ready to unpack some seriously interesting information.
Today we're tackling a topic that's been generating a lot of buzz lately in the health and wellness world, testosterone injections.
Oh, yeah?
We're going to explore what they are,
Mm-hmm.
delve into their potential benefits and risks,
Right.
and really try to equip you with the knowledge to make those informed decisions about your health.
Exactly, because testosterone is often, associated with like building muscle and
Yeah.
boosting masculinity, but it's actually a crucial hormone for both men and women.
Huh?
It plays a vital role in so many bodily functions. We're talking energy levels, bone health,
Wow.
even cognitive function.
Okay, so before we get into the injections themselves, let's back up for a sec.
Sure.
For those who might not be, totally familiar, what exactly is testosterone? It's not just about the gym bros, right?
Not at all. It's
Yeah.
actually the primary male sex hormone primarily produced in the testicles. But here's the thing. Women produce testosterone too,
Oh, wow.
just in smaller amounts in their ovaries and adrenal glands.
Interesting.
So it's definitely not a male-only hormone.
That's fascinating. So it's like this hidden powerhouse working in everybody's bodies behind the scenes.
Exactly. And, in men, testosterone is really the driving force behind those typical male characteristics we see during puberty,
Yeah.
like muscle growth, facial hair, deeper voice.
Yeah.
But it also helps with things like sperm production and keeping bones strong.
Okay, and for women, you mentioned it's involved in bone and muscle health.
Uh-huh.
Are there other ways it impacts women specifically?
For sure. It can influence energy levels
Oh,
and libido, that feeling of vitality,
gotcha.
having that get up and go attitude.
Yeah.
That's testosterone.
So it's involved in a lot more than people probably realize.
Definitely.
What happens when someone doesn't produce enough testosterone? I've heard that term low T thrown around a lot.
Right.
What's the deal with that?
Low T is often used to describe a condition called hypogonadism, and that's where your body just isn't producing enough testosterone, and it can happen to both men and women.
So what kind of red flags should people be looking out for? What are the telltale signs that something might be off with their testosterone levels?
There are definitely a few key symptoms that can show up.
Okay.
You might notice weight gain kind of out of nowhere,
Ah.
fatigue even when you've had enough sleep,
Yeah.
a decrease in your libido, and even unusual mood swings.
Okay, so if you're someone who's hitting the gym regularly, eating right,
Yes.
getting enough sleep, but still feeling wiped out and moody,
Yeah,
that could be a sign to investigate a little further.
absolutely. But it's so important not to jump to conclusions
Yeah.
and self-diagnose, right?
Right.
These symptoms could be caused by all sorts of factors, not just
Yeah.
low testosterone.
So no Googling symptoms and then ordering supplements online.
No,
Always consult a doctor before making any drastic
Yeah.
changes.
always a good idea. A doctor can run the necessary tests to really pinpoint the root cause
Yeah.
and then recommend the right treatment.
Exactly.
And sometimes that treatment might involve testosterone injections.
Which brings us to the heart of our deep dive today.
Yes.
So let's break it down. What exactly are testosterone injections?
Okay.
And how do they work?
Well, they're basically a direct and fast-acting way to deliver testosterone into the body.
Okay.
It's essentially a synthetic form of the hormone that's injected right into your bloodstream.
So it bypasses your body's natural production and gives you a boost, sort of like a direct deposit of testosterone, right?
That's a perfect analogy. And because it's injected straight into the bloodstream,
Yeah.
it kicks in pretty quickly and effectively.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
So if someone's diagnosed with hypogonadism,
Right.
or maybe they're experiencing delayed puberty injections,
Mm-hmm.
could be a way to get those testosterone levels back on track.
Exactly. But it's not just about addressing deficiencies. Testosterone injections have actually been explored for their benefits in other areas as well.
Okay, so let's get into those potential benefits.
Yes.
What are some ways that testosterone injections could really improve someone's life? We're talking quality of life here, right?
Absolutely. Quality of life for sure. Imagine feeling more energized,
Right.
stronger, and even sharper mentally.
Wow.
Those are just some of the upsides.
I'm intrigued. Break it down for me. What are we talking about specifically?
Okay, well, some people report experiencing increased energy levels, like they've got that youthful pep back in their step.
I like that.
And for those who are really into fitness,
Yes.
there's potential for improved muscle mass
Okay.
and a reduction in body fat.
So it's not just aesthetics, though, right? There's a functional aspect to it as well.
Absolutely. Testosterone can play a role in libido,
Ah.
that feeling of desire and drive.
Right.
It can also positively influence mood, making you feel more optimistic and resilient.
Oh.
And There are some studies that even suggest potential benefits for cognitive function,
Wow.
thinking more clearly, feeling sharper mentally.
That's quite a list of potential perks.
Right?
I can definitely see why this therapy is gaining popularity.
It is.
But I imagine there's got to be a catch, right? No treatment is completely without risks. What's the downside here?
You're absolutely right. It's so crucial to approach this with a balanced perspective.
Yeah.
While testosterone injections do offer those potential benefits,
Uh-huh.
it's equally important to understand the risks involved.
Okay, so let's talk about those risks.
Okay.
What are some of the things that people should be aware of before even considering this therapy?
Well, there are potential side effects that can range from mild to more serious.
Good.
Some people experience sleep apnea,
Yeah.
where breathing repeatedly stops and starts during sleep.
It sounds kind of scary.
It can be. Yeah.
What else should people be aware of?
There are also potential cardiovascular risks, like an increased risk of a heart attack or stroke. And there's a possibility of liver problems
Okay.
and changes in blood cell production.
So it's not a decision to take lightly.
Definitely not. It requires careful consideration and monitoring.
It sounds like close medical supervision is essential.
Oh, absolutely. It's not something to be experimenting with on your own.
Right.
Regular checkups with your doctor and careful monitoring are key
Good.
to ensuring your safety and managing any potential side effects.
That makes a lot of sense. So it's like any powerful tool you need to use it responsibly
Yeah.
and with expert guidance.
Exactly.
Speaking of responsibility, let's talk about the financial side of things.
Okay.
These injections probably don't come cheap, right?
That's a really good point. The cost can definitely be a factor to consider.
For sure.
Prices vary depending on the type of testosterone used, the dosage, and whether or not your insurance covers it.
Okay, so let's get real. What kind of numbers are we talking about here? Give us a ballpark figure so people have an idea of the financial commitment involved.
All right. On average, you might be looking at somewhere between $100 and $130 per month for the injections themselves.
Okay.
But keep in mind that doesn't include doctor's visits and blood tests,
Right.
which are essential for monitoring your progress and safety.
It's like any investment, you got to factor in those ongoing costs, not just the initial price tag.
Absolutely.
So we've got the potential benefits, we've got the potential risks,
Yeah.
and we've got the financial considerations. It sounds like testosterone injections are not a one-size-fits-all solution,
They're not.
but rather a complex decision with a lot of moving parts.
Exactly. And it requires, careful consideration, open communication with your doctor, and a willingness to be an active participant in your own healthcare journey.
Well said. And speaking of journeys, we're just getting started on ours today. We've laid the groundwork, but there's so much more to explore. Stay tuned as we delve even deeper into the world of testosterone injections after the break. Welcome back to KenkoVibe. Before the break, we were starting to touch on some of the ethical considerations surrounding testosterone injections.
Yeah, it's definitely a topic that, sparks a lot of debate and raises important questions.
It does. So let's unpack some of those dilemmas.
Yeah.
What are some of the main ethical concerns that people have raised about testosterone injections?
One of the big ones revolves around the use of testosterone for non-medical reasons, particularly in athletics.
Right.
You've got athletes using it to enhance their performance, gain a competitive edge push beyond their natural limits.
Right. It's that whole playing God argument. Like, should we be using these medical interventions to enhance abilities that are, naturally determined?
Yeah.
Where do we draw the line between optimizing health and artificially boosting performance?
Yeah, it's a really slippery slope, and there's no easy answer.
Right.
Sporting organizations grapple with this all the time, trying to ensure fair play while recognizing that athletes are always looking for that extra edge. It raises questions about what's considered natural versus artificial enhancement.
It's fascinating how a hormone that's so fundamental to our biology can spark such complex ethical debates.
It really is. It speaks to the power of this hormone and its impact on our bodies and, in some ways, our identity.
Yeah.
And the ethical considerations go beyond just athletics, too.
Oh, interesting. So what are some other areas where these ethical concerns come into play?
Well, there's the whole issue of body image and societal pressures.
Oh, yeah?
We live in a culture that often glorifies youthfulness, vitality, and certain physical attributes.
Right. You see those six-pack abs and bulging biceps all over magazines and social media.
Exactly.
It's easy to feel pressure to conform to those ideals.
It is, and that's where it gets a little bit tricky. Are people choosing testosterone injections for legitimate medical reasons?
Yeah.
Or are they being swayed by societal pressures to achieve a certain physique or maintain a youthful appearance?
It's that age-old question of nature versus nurture.
Yeah.
How much of our desire for these enhancements is driven by genuine need versus those external pressures?
It's a blurry line, and it's important to have open and honest conversations about those motivations.
Yeah.
It's crucial to make informed decisions that are aligned with our values and our overall well-being.
Well said. Now, I want to shift gears a bit and talk about something that might be on some listeners' minds.
Okay.
The potential impact of testosterone injections on fertility.
Right.
We know that testosterone is involved in reproductive health. So how do these injections affect the equation?
That's a really important consideration, especially for men who are thinking about having children in the future.
Yeah.
Using exogenous testosterone, which is what you're getting in these injections, can actually suppress your body's natural testosterone production.
So it's like your body's saying, hey, we've got plenty of testosterone coming in from these injections, so we can take a break from making our own.
That's a great way to put it. And when your body dials down its own testosterone production, it can lead to a decrease in sperm production.
Okay, so that's a potential red flag for fertility.
Yeah.
It's something men should definitely discuss with their doctor before starting testosterone therapy.
Right, absolutely. It's a crucial conversation to have. And it's not just about men's fertility either.
Right.
We've talked a lot about testosterone in the context of men's health.
Yeah,
But let's not forget that women produce testosterone too.
that's true.
So does testosterone therapy ever play a role in women's health?
That's a great question. I'm curious about that myself.
Yeah.
Is it ever used to address hormonal imbalances or other health concerns in women?
It is, but it's much less common than in men. Testosterone therapy for women is still kind of a frontier, and it's often approached with more caution.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
So in what situations might a woman consider testosterone therapy?
Well, it might be considered for women who are experiencing certain health conditions, like significantly low libido, persistent fatigue, or even bone density loss, especially after menopause.
So it's not just about those traditionally male aspects of testosterone, like, muscle growth or body hair.
Right.
It can address a range of health concerns that women face as well.
Exactly. But just like with men, it's not a decision to be taken lightly.
Right.
It requires a thorough evaluation by a healthcare professional to determine if it's the right course of action.
We have to remember that hormones are powerful messengers in the body, and tinkering with them can have a ripple effect.
Yes.
It's important to approach hormone therapy with a sense of respect and caution, regardless of gender.
Absolutely. And it's crucial to have realistic expectations.
Yeah.
Testosterone therapy, including injections, is not a quick fix
Right.
or a fountain of youth.
Yeah.
It's a medical treatment that should be approached thoughtfully with careful consideration of the potential benefits and risks.
Well said. And I think this deep dive has really highlighted the individualized nature of testosterone therapy.
It has.
It's not a one-size-fits-all approach.
Yeah.
It requires a personalized plan based on an individual's unique needs, medical history, and goals.
That's a key takeaway for sure. It's about finding the right balance for each person, weighing those potential benefits against potential risks, and working closely with a healthcare provider to make those informed decisions.
We've covered a lot of ground today, from the science behind testosterone injections to the ethical considerations and the impact on fertility. But before we wrap up, I want to shift gears one last time
Okay.
and explore some of the exciting advancements on the horizon in the world of testosterone therapy.
Oh, that's a perfect segue.
Huh.
There's so much happening in this field, with researchers constantly exploring new ways to optimize testosterone therapy and minimize the risks.
Okay, so let's dive into that exciting world of innovation.
Hmm.
What are some of the advancements that have you particularly excited? What's on the horizon for testosterone therapy?
Well, one area that's really promising is the development of new delivery methods. We've talked a lot about injections,
Yeah.
but researchers are working on ways to deliver testosterone more consistently and conveniently.
So, but potentially moving away from those needles. I'm sure a lot of people would be happy about that.
I think so. One exciting avenue is transdermal patches.
Okay.
These patches are applied to the skin and release testosterone slowly and steadily into the bloodstream.
So it's like a nicotine patch, but for testosterone.
Exactly. The idea is to mimic the body's natural hormone production more closely, reducing those peaks and valleys you can get with injections.
That makes a lot of sense. So more consistent levels of testosterone in the body, potentially fewer side effects,
Right.
and less frequent dosing.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds like a win-win. What other delivery methods are being explored?
Another area of research is in longer-acting injections. Imagine getting an injection just once a month, or even less frequently.
Wow, that would be a game changer for people who find the current injection schedule inconvenient or a bit of a hassle.
Exactly. It could significantly improve compliance.
Yeah.
and make testosterone therapy more accessible and appealing to a wider range of people.
Yeah.
And beyond delivery methods, there's also a growing emphasis on personalized medicine.
Oh, I've heard about personalized medicine.
Yeah.
It's all about tailoring treatments to an individual's unique genetic makeup and health profile. How is that being applied to testosterone therapy?
Well, the idea is to use genetic testing and other advanced diagnostics to predict how someone will respond to testosterone therapy.
So it's like taking the guesswork out of the equation, using science to determine the optimal dosage delivery method and monitoring plan for each individual.
Precisely. It's about moving away from that one-size-fits-all approach and embracing the complexity of human biology.
Wow.
And that's really exciting because it means we're moving towards a future where testosterone therapy is more precise, more effective, and safer for everyone.
This is really fascinating stuff. It sounds like the future of testosterone therapy is bright with all these advancements on the horizon. But before we get too carried away with the high-tech solutions, I want to bring it back to the basics for a moment.
Okay.
We've talked a lot about medical interventions,
Yeah.
but what about the role of lifestyle in optimizing testosterone levels naturally?
That's such an important point. While testosterone therapy can be incredibly beneficial for those who need it,
Right.
there are definitely things we can do in our everyday lives to support healthy testosterone levels naturally.
Okay, so let's talk about those lifestyle factors. What are some things people can do to boost their testosterone naturally? Give those actionable tips.
Well, first and foremost, maintaining a healthy weight is crucial.
Okay.
Obesity is linked to lower testosterone levels,
Huh.
so losing even a small amount of weight can make a difference.
That's great advice for overall health, not just testosterone. What else can people do?
Regular exercise is another key factor.
Yeah.
Both strength training and cardiovascular exercise can help boost testosterone levels.
So hitting the gym or going for a run can have a positive impact on your hormones as well as your physical fitness.
Exactly. And it's not just about the physical benefits either. Exercise can also help reduce stress and improve sleep, both of which can contribute to healthier testosterone levels.
Right, it's all interconnected. Taking care of your body holistically.
What about diet? Does what we eat play a role in testosterone production?
Absolutely. A balanced diet that's rich in protein, healthy fats, and essential nutrients can support optimal testosterone production.
So it's about nourishing your body from the inside out.
You got it.
Hmm.
And just as important as what you eat is what you don't eat.
Okay, I'm intrigued. What are some dietary no-nos when it comes to testosterone?
It's best to limit processed foods, sugary drinks, and excessive alcohol consumption.
Right.
Those can all negatively impact testosterone levels.
So those classic culprits, processed junk, sugar overload, and too much booze. Not just bad for your waistline, but also potentially bad for your hormones.
That's right. And let's not forget the importance of sleep. When you're sleep deprived, your body produces less testosterone.
The importance of a good night's rest. I'm sensing a theme here. All these lifestyle factors we're talking about are things we should be doing anyway for our overall health.
Exactly. Taking care of your physical health is a holistic endeavor, and it's interconnected with hormone balance. And I imagine managing stress is also really important for hormonal health.
Absolutely. Chronic stress can lead to elevated levels of cortisol, a hormone that can actually suppress testosterone production.
So finding healthy ways to manage stress, whether it's through exercise, meditation, spending time in nature, or pursuing hobbies you enjoy, can have a positive impact on your testosterone levels.
You nailed it. It's all about creating a lifestyle that supports your overall well-being, including hormonal balance. It's about making choices that nourish your body, mind, and spirit.
Well, this has been an incredibly informative deep dive into the world of testosterone injections. We've covered so much ground, from the science and practicalities to the ethical considerations and lifestyle factors that can influence testosterone levels.
It's been a fascinating journey, and I hope our listeners are feeling empowered with knowledge and insights.
I'm sure they are.
Yeah.
But before we sign off, I want to leave our listeners with this thought.
Okay.
Imagine a future where we have even more precise and personalized approaches to testosterone therapy,
Right.
minimizing the risks and maximizing the benefits. What would that look like?
That's a great question to ponder. The future of testosterone therapy is full of possibilities, and it's exciting to think about what innovations lie ahead.
It's a future where we can harness the power of this hormone responsibly and effectively to enhance health and well-being for everyone.
I couldn't have said it better myself.
Well, that wraps up our deep dive for today. But remember, this is just the beginning of your exploration.
Yes.
There's always more to learn, and new discoveries are being made all the time. Stay curious, stay informed, and stay well.
And remember, this information is for educational purposes only and not a substitute for professional medical advice. If you have any concerns about your testosterone levels or are considering testosterone therapy, please consult with a healthcare professional.
Couldn't have said it better myself. We've had a blast exploring this topic with you. And if you enjoyed this episode, we encourage you to subscribe to KenkoVibe. Like this episode, leave a comment, and share it with your friends. We're passionate about bringing you evidence-based health information in a way that's easy to understand and apply to your life.
That's right. We're Grace Morgan.
And Ethan Reed.
And this is KenkoVibe. Until next time, stay curious, stay informed, and stay well.
Welcome back to KenkoVibe. We've been on this incredible journey exploring the ins and outs of testosterone injections. The science behind it, the potential benefits and risks, even touched upon some of the ethical considerations.
Yeah, it's been a fascinating deep dive for sure. I feel like we've really unpacked a lot.
We have, but, there's always more to discover. Before we wrap up our exploration, I'm really curious about what the future holds for testosterone therapy. Are there any exciting advancements on the horizon?
Oh, absolutely. There's a ton of exciting research happening right now, all focused on making testosterone therapy even safer, more effective, and more personalized.
Okay, I'm all ears. What are some of the things that have you particularly excited? What's on the horizon for testosterone therapy?
Well, one area that's generating a lot of buzz is the development of new delivery methods. We've talked a lot about injections,
Yeah.
but researchers are exploring ways to deliver testosterone more consistently and, more conveniently.
So potentially moving away from those needles. I bet a lot of people would be happy about that.
Oh, I think so. One promising avenue is transdermal patches.
Okay.
These patches are applied to the skin and release testosterone slowly and steadily into the bloodstream.
So it's like a nicotine patch, but for testosterone? That's pretty cool.
Exactly. And the idea is to mimic the body's natural hormone production more closely, reducing those peaks and valleys you can get with injections.
That makes a lot of sense. So more consistent levels of testosterone in the body.
Right.
Potentially fewer side effects and less frequent dosing.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds like a win-win. What other delivery methods are they looking into?
Well, they're also working on longer-acting injections. Imagine getting an injection just once a month or even less often.
Wow, that'd be amazing for people who don't love the current injection schedule, if they find it inconvenient or a bit of a hassle.
Absolutely. And it could really improve compliance.
Right.
Make testosterone therapy more accessible and appealing to a wider range of people.
So we're kind of moving towards a world of set and forget it testosterone therapy.
Right.
That's incredible. Are there any other innovations in the pipeline that you're excited about?
For sure. Beyond delivery methods, there's a growing emphasis on personalized medicine.
Personalized medicine. That's a hot topic these days. I've heard about it with cancer treatments and other areas of healthcare.
Yeah.
How would it work for testosterone therapy?
The idea is to use genetic testing and other advanced diagnostics to kind of predict how someone will respond to testosterone therapy.
So it's like taking out the guesswork.
Yeah.
Using science to determine the optimal dosage, the best delivery method, and the most appropriate monitoring plan for each individual.
Exactly. It's about embracing the complexity of human biology and recognizing that one size does not fit all when it comes to hormone therapy.
That's a really powerful message. It's about empowering individuals to take control of their health and work with their doctors to create personalized treatment plans that really meet their unique needs.
Absolutely. It's about moving away from a cookie-cutter approach and embracing the individuality of each person's journey.
Well, this has been an incredible deep dive into the world of testosterone injections. We've covered so much from the basic science to the ethical considerations, and now we've even gotten a glimpse into the future of testosterone therapy.
It really has been a fascinating exploration, and I hope our listeners feel more informed and empowered to make decisions about their health.
I'm sure they do. Before we wrap up, I want to remind everyone that this information is for educational purposes only and not a substitute for professional medical advice. If you have any concerns about your testosterone levels or are considering testosterone therapy, please talk to your doctor.
Couldn't agree more. And if you enjoyed this episode, we encourage you to subscribe to KenkoVibe, like this episode, leave a comment, and share it with your friends. We're passionate about bringing you evidence-based health information in a way that's easy to understand and apply to your life.
That's right. We're Ethan Reed.
And Grace Morgan.
And this is KenkoVibe. Until next time, stay curious, stay informed, and stay well.